And over the years, I think between 2019 and 2023, Canada received the largest number of immigrants. So the numbers have really exponentially gone down, but I think post-COVID immigration to Canada was the highest this country has ever seen. And over time, I tend to meet people who do regret ever making that move and coming to Canada. Again, I want to say that it also depends with what you were hoping for, because some people are just happy they moved to Canada because some of them were running away from, let's say, wars. Some people left good jobs to come here, and when they got here, they didn't really get what they were hoping for. And yeah, and I've met some people who left their countries who had good jobs, came here and got better jobs. So again, it depends with who and what and where. So today we'll be watching a video by a creator here. What's his name? Stephen Duku followed Nigerians, I think Nigerians predominantly, who immigrated to Canada. So we're going to watch this video to the extent that we can, and we're going to react to it. I'm going to give my honest opinion about it as far as what I expected from Canada and what I actually ended up getting. And yeah, just make sure you subscribe, because I think subscribing is always a good thing. I mean, you're helping our channel grow. You're being part of something. Stick around. Let's watch this.
When most people think about Canada, they imagine a land full of opportunities and fresh starts.
When I came also, because I had HR background, I thought it would be easy for me to just get a part-time job in like HR or admin role. Bro, the first work I did was we were packing sausages in lines.
So the first job I did, I worked with a construction company. A small one probably. It had like 3-4 employees plus him 5. And then there was like some of us immigrants who would actually bring in. And the problem with this guy is that he would like withhold your money for probably too long. Like you would work on Monday and then you'll ask him, okay, yo, how about your money? And then we're like, I'll pay you. And then it'll take like another 2 weeks to pay you. And the second job, I worked as a fundraiser, which I would go to talk to people in the streets and ask them to give you money for charity organizations. And boy, oh boy, that was one of the toughest jobs I've ever done. For someone who actually, I can't say really likes talking to people in the first place, having to approach people in the streets of a city that I'm still new to and trying to appeal to them to give me money was, one, to me very embarrassing, because I was literally begging, except this time I was begging for a good cause. And for someone who for the better part of my life has feared something called rejection, being rejected from morning, because you talk to 10 people and trust me, only out of 10 people, only 3 would stop to listen to you. And of the 3, none would donate. And you do that over and over and over again. And it's a cycle that would take you probably 8 hours. And then you'll get 2 people. And then those 2 people would, of course, subscribe or agree to donate, only to go home and cancel their subscription.
I don't want to say I was sold a dream, because I came here willingly, but I don't like it here.
The fact is, Canada was a dream, especially for people doing the business of relocating people from, let me say, Kenya to Canada. Because they would sell you a place. You hear Gotham City? Yeah, they would sell you Gotham City, a city of justice, a city of love, a city of peace for every one of us. There's always jobs, as many jobs as you want. They'll never tell you about the housing crisis that Toronto is facing, especially post-pandemic, with the inflation and that influx of international students and other immigrants and refugees, etc., and what it did to the housing infrastructure in this place. Like, they would never tell you all that. They would sell you a dream of that you are going to land and the first thing you get is a contract for a job. And unfortunately for such people is, you have that dream, you are sold that Canada back there, and you come here and probably find something different, But then the people who, probably your family members, are stuck with that image of Canada that you were sold to with them when they were being convinced to pay for those services those guys were hawking at that time. And so they will always expect you to have money. And the moment you tell them you don't have money, I mean, you're in Canada, you should be having money. And trust me, even people who didn't give two shits about you, all of a sudden are talking to you about Canada in money.
Grant, the journey here isn't always that simple.
All that glitters is not gold, and I was looking for a very nice way to connect it with Canada. All that is white is not snow.
From Nigeria, relocating to Canada is...
All that is white in Canada can also be cocaine, so it depends with what you're looking for.
From the freezing cold morning to the loneliness, the fast declining job market, and the silent pressure to succeed no matter what.
Okay, so I'm going to very quickly address that. Okay, loneliness, kinda, but because you miss home. But I can't say that I am lonely because I am alone. There's no one else. There is always someone. I mean, there are people I could just call right now, and if they wanted to hang out, I would hang out with them. If that loneliness, yeah, it depends. Yeah, job market, absolutely. But I think that it could also be blamed on a lot of stuff happening around us, which includes our neighbor to the south, the issue with tariffs and the collapsing of existing trade parameters that have been there for years, that have guided like the relations when it comes to trade between Canada and United States, and then the fact that the post-pandemic economy was still kind of shaky, and then all of a sudden you have US-Iran war, and now prices are going up again. So like there's a host of issues that has just refused to let things stabilize when it comes to economy. I don't know, even these people who are complaining about the kind of jobs they have, I think maybe a few months down the line they'll probably get the kind of job they were looking for. So yeah,
as I walk around the city, I also noticed something else: a surprisingly large homeless population and a rising drug problem on the street.
The existing welfare programs that were in place for the homeless kind of like were usurped partly by immigrants who came in and sought asylum, and all of a sudden these programs, for example, like shelters, now had to be shared between the homeless in Toronto and immigrants. And again, the other problem is you bring in homelessness and then you bring in drugs. That's a kryptonite. These are people who, some of them, I don't think even if you gave them a house, they would probably stay there. They'll probably leave and just be on the street. Because one, they're no longer functional. Like you can't count on them to be productive. And only those that are, for the record, I'm not like kind of writing off everyone who has a drug problem, but the fact is, someone who has a drug problem is least likely to get a job. No one would want to hire such a person. One, because even if you hired them, you cannot rely on them. So yeah, there's a lot of things that actually exacerbate the drug and homelessness situation in Canada right now, but immigration is part of it. Not all, but part of it, especially when it comes to international students that flocked here and led to increase of rent, and then the inflation, which led to inflation led to, I think, for mortgages, led to mortgages shooting up, and mortgages shooting up, some people could not afford mortgages that they've been paid, and they fell back. But if you ask me, Canada is still the place to be. There's always something to look forward to.
Here is different. Some people find their purpose here. Others lose themselves trying to survive. Some build successful businesses from nothing, while others quietly wish they had never left home.
All right, we're here in Toronto. Toronto?
Oh, just say Toronto. Every time I say Toronto, I feel weird.
It's one of the most multicultural cities in the world. For many immigrants, this is where the Canadian journey begins. Canada has quiet...
They say there is always something for everyone in Toronto. Maybe except jobs. I mean, it's tough to be single in Toronto. You will always get someone. I just want to exclusively hang around Kenyans. I know where to find them. If I want, I'm like, no, Kenyans can't. I'm not doing Kenyans anymore. I know where to find Nigerians. A lot of them. I just go there. It's like I'm Nigerian myself. If I'm not talking to Nigerians, fine. I don't want to talk to Africans anymore. I know a few Turkish people I can hang around. I guess it depends, because I can be lonely sometimes because I miss people from home, or like some people, particular people from home, or people I used to do certain stuff with, and I can't do that here. Yeah. So again, you can just wish like because you feel okay, everyone is okay. So yeah, I
I
get.
think for me, it was a case of the free medical service and the fact that I also just wanted a place where it's not going to take me so much time to become a citizen, to become a part of them.
With me, I always just wanted to go to Canada. I didn't need anyone to sell Canada to me. I'm not regretting. Others probably do. I'm not regretting because if I compare what I have right now to what I had before, there was nothing where I came from. So as we say that you go out and hunt, you may kill or you may be killed.
There's two categories of people. There are people that ran away from Nigeria because of greener pastures, and there are those that just left because they wanted more. I've always been in that wanted more category.
What makes every Nigerian move here? First of all, Nigeria is not giving what it's supposed to give.
And even talking to Nigerians themselves, they like the vibe of being Nigerian, but I'm yet to find someone who is proudly Nigerian. They're disappointed a lot in their country and what their country has to offer. And I've not found, I could be wrong, and if I'm wrong, attack me, open season. Being Nigerian is a vibe. I won't lie about that. I mean, it's the most recognizable African outside of Africa. Like, meet a Nigerian and I would know this is a Nigerian. It's always very hard for someone to just outrightly come to me and then after 2 words be like, oh, you're Kenyan. Unless they're Kenyan themselves or Ugandan. Or maybe Tanzanian. Yeah, they would do that. But for Nigerian, the Nigerian opens their mouth and you know this is Nigerian. Because being Nigerian is just a vibe in itself, and I've met a host of them. Good people, some of them not so good. But again, you find self-centered people everywhere you go. I mean, not like Kenyans are not self-centered. I know a few who have borrowed my money and refused to pay back. But I don't want to be like, being Nigerian is bad. It's not bad. Nigeria is awesome. Because that place has a lot of money, oh. That place has a lot of money, except the money is concentrated in less than 1% at the top. And then the rest have to just be at the whims of... my friends tell me some of the things that happen in Nigeria, and I'm like, no, this would never happen in Kenya. In Kenya, we are corrupt.
Living in countries like the US and Canada as an immigrant often means building a brand new life while staying connected to the ones that you left behind. And for many newcomers like the ones that you've seen in this video, that connection looks like sending money back home to support family.
Yes.
And I'm very quick to help.
If you're not sending money back home, you're not abroad. At least that's according to them. Because according to some people, is you wake up, when you go to your washroom to wash your face in the morning, you turn on the tap, it's not water coming out. It's Canadian dollars. You are awash with money. They have no idea. But that's not the story. Like everyone's story is different in almost every aspect. Some people may have people asking them for money, but then they are lucky, they got opportunities, but some people don't have none of that. None at all.
International students are key part of how Canada's education system is funded, and for many years, studying in Canada was seen as one of the most reliable ways to get permanent residency and eventually citizenship.
Come as a student, you're wasting your time. You're wasting your time, you're wasting your tuition fees. Go and use that money and build a house or something. Because as a student here, you're still coming to pay tax. Come as a permanent resident. Because now they've even limited like the options for students as to the courses you can study. If you come
That is very true. The Canadian government has actually limited the number of courses people can study to get PR. You don't really get mad when someone realizes that you've been gaming them and make changes to that system to actually make it more efficient, either more efficient or cut down on the number of people coming in, because that was bound to happen at some point.